Hello, my name is David Shelby, and I am a learner here at City University of Seattle, studying for my doctorate in Business Administration. This video presentation is for educational fulfillment of City University of Seattle School of Management, Class RESR625, Advanced Research Topics, for the Module 5 assignment, which is the Literature Review Final Presentation. The purpose behind this presentation is to present the researcher's development of the customer survey, which is the questionnaire, the responses by the survey taker, which is the interaction, and the summary of the data collected after an analysis has been performed, the report of the findings. This presentation will answer the four following questions. What is a customer survey? What types of methods are used to gather data? How to analyze a customer survey? And how to present the findings. Most businesses agree that the importance of needing a customer survey is because, when done correctly, it shows customer satisfaction, which leads to customer loyalty, and in return leads to profitability and growth. Businesses rely on two types of customers. One type is the new customer, and the other type is the loyal customer who is intending to return to that business. Businesses need to identify loyal customers for several reasons. Loyal customers will continue to spend money at the business rather than shopping around. They will build a relationship with that business and by word of mouth tell others about that business. When conducting a customer survey, researchers point out that it's always best to either use the quantitative method or the qualitative method, but frown upon using the mixed method, or also known as the multi-method survey. The biggest problem when selecting a method of either qualitative survey over quantitative survey is the amount of data it is feasible to gather. With a quantitative study, the researcher is collecting data from a large population that several different types of computer software programs can analyze. The biggest argument against a quantitative study is it is difficult to explore human behavior. However, with a qualitative survey, the researcher is limited to around 10 to 50 semi-structured interviews. Research shows using the multi-method in a business-developed survey, if a respondent is taken a quantitative questionnaire and indicates they are not satisfied, then the questionnaire switches to a qualitative survey and asks why. Therefore, the use of a multi-method customer survey leans more towards using responses and results for an internal use rather than an external one. When conducting a customer satisfaction survey, customer satisfaction generally means what the customer has perceived as good product or service quality. The costs and benefits were what the customer expected to receive. Research shows that the customer satisfaction surveys are relatively new, and there are many different types of methods that are also needed to be tested for analyzing responses. More research in this area needs to be done. When drafting questions, the first step is to identify what the researcher needs the customer to identify by drafting the questions for both reliability of the survey results and its validity. To get valid answers, the researcher needs to know how to properly structure the question. Ratings are then built based on the frequency of responses. The goal is to measure the perception of the customers regarding the product or service purchased. As technology has evolved, so has customer satisfaction surveys' interaction methods changed to keep up with technology. After the survey has been designed, the researcher needs a way for the respondent to interact with the survey. There are two types of customer survey questionnaires: the language-based verbal scale, which has been standard for over 30 years, and the newer nonverbal pictorial scale. Questionnaire is also chosen due to the ease of collecting data that can be provided to score that can be used to compare to a benchmark. It is by customer interaction that data is collected. Early forms of survey interactions were conducted on paper and were either collected at the business or mailed to the customer. If mailed, the customer would answer the questions and mail the completed forms back to the business. As more customers got a phone number and provided them to the business they shopped at, managers and researchers were able to do customer surveys over the phone. The main change in this type of surveying is the caller needs to get permission to call the customer and conduct the survey. Next came along the use of electronic mail, email, as a form of communication. The business collects the customer's email address and emails a survey to the customer to respond to, either by replying to the email or being directed to a website containing the survey. The newest development is interactive survey applications that a customer loads onto a tablet or a smartphone. Because of the time needed to take a customer survey and the time constraints survey takers place on successfully completing a survey, marketing researchers have been trying for years to design a simple survey. Many major social media websites like YouTube, Netflix, and Amazon have tried and continue to try to use either rating systems or ranking systems, but fail to meet traditional social science surveys that are considered valid research. An example of changes to create a simple survey is the moving away from a 1 to 5 star rating system to rate like a movie to a binary thumbs up, thumbs down system, where a person simply says they liked the film or they didn't by doing a thumbs up and a thumbs down. Although the use of smartphones is very popular these days, researchers are discovering respondents choose not to complete a smartphone customer survey for various reasons. The new trend is the use of smiley face scale emojis, where a respondent reads the question and uses a thumb or finger to select an emoji face from happy to sad to respond. The more recent research shows a better completion with older adults because of the ease of use. Lately, smiley face scales are finding popularity with younger adults who steer away from surveys. However, more research in the younger adult population group needs to be conducted. Researchers are discovering the customer survey interaction of text-based language has constraints, where the use of nonverbal emojis allow the customer to express emotions that reflect back to a more honest response. More research when using emojis and thumbs-up responses needs to be done. Analyzing responses to the customer's interactions need to be measured reliably. Participation has 3 dimensions: physical, mental, and emotional. Physically, because the participant needs to respond to the questions. Mentally, because the participant needs to think about what happened. And emotionally, as the participant needs to express their attitude. When analyzing the customer's decision to purchase, research tends to show there are factors influencing a purchase which include memory, goal-oriented search attributes, characteristics, and expectations. Some businesses have been using a useful tool called the Importance Performance Analysis to examine how customer satisfaction can be improved by management strategies. When using Importance Performance Analysis, the target of the research is to focus on finding out why the customer decided to make the purchase of a product or service. The main goal of an Important Performance Analysis is to improve purchase or service quality. After a quantitative customer survey is completed, and the results are stored in a customer relationship management software program, businesses need to realize that the database only tells them what a customer did and might do, but it does not provide the reason for the customer's behavior. Data collected in a customer relationship management software program can be placed onto a control chart that can be used to monitor the customer's opinion. This is done by plotting observations on an X and Y axis. The researcher then sets a control limit on the chart. An alert is generated once the observation falls above the control limit. A good qualitative survey requires the interview data to be broken down into themes and a summary of each response. Data needs to be categories which are used to create a report. This can be time-consuming and the main reason why quantitative customer surveys are more desired. After the interaction has taken place, the researcher analyzes the gathered data and generates a report that shows the results of the survey. The outcomes are then reviewed by stakeholders, which includes employees, managers, leaders, and owners, to be informed about the customer satisfaction and if changes should be made to improve product or service. One way to utilize the data gathered is to benchmark the results. Benchmarking involves comparing results from other departments, different levels of an organization, as well as an organization competitor's results against the current survey results. Over the years, businesses found an economical means to quickly review the results of data analyzed to help improve the organization's performance by the use of software barometers. Barometers are widely used in businesses to track customer satisfaction. Most recent research shows that the customer's sad emotions cannot be fully expressed when doing a text-based interaction. When a customer responds to a survey with a sad or mad emoji, Management can show the employee the sad or mad emoji in hopes of getting the employee to show empathy when addressing the problem. If a customer has responded indicating the customer had an unsatisfied experience, the customer needs to receive an apology in order to remove negative emotions towards the business. More research with apologies and loyalty needs to be explored. In order for a business to stay in business and be profitable, it needs to rely on customer surveys. It shows that company their performance with their customer and their competitor. It also shows if a customer is going to recommend that business or badmouth it. Customer surveys are not just about the asking a question to find out if the customer is satisfied with a product or service. It's about knowing what research method to use, how to ask the question, how to write the question, what data does the researcher need to understand why the customer is or is not satisfied. Or maybe the ones reviewing the data want to know why the customer chose a particular product or service over another. As more companies are moving away from verbal to nonverbal questionnaire interactions, emojis, thumbs up, thumbs down, more scientific research in this area needs to be conducted. A company should not design a survey and use it without first knowing it has scientific merit. However, the induction of emojis as responses has not been scientifically tested fully, and the research of an emoji-based survey should state such. This video has been a presentation about the overview of the customer survey. As I move forward with my doctorate degree in business administration at City University, I hope to post more videos about other management practice I study. My name is David Shelby, a learner at City University of Seattle. Thank you for watching my video, and have a lovely day. After the interaction has taken place, the researcher analyzes the gathered data and generates a report that shows the research of the survey. Problems. Yes.